Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to our second class Islamic perspective. In our first in the first video I sent you, that's the first session, I introduced you to the syllabus we're going to be doing this time, inshallah, and I asked you to go ahead and tell me what you know about Islam. Do you have an idea? If you don't have an idea, what do you think about Islam? And some of you sent good responses. MashaAllah, well done. I'm proud of you. So, discussing Islamic perspective. Islamic perspective tips is made up of two words. We have Islam here, and then we have perspectives. So, to understand what Islamic perspectives means, we have to discuss first Islam, then we'll now discuss perspectives. So, the first thing we're going to do now is discuss Islam. So, what is Islam? Again, some of you sent good responses. I'm very, very proud of you, and I'm happy with those people that participated in our class. So what is Islam? So in Arabic, the word Islam means submission and surrender to the oneness and will of Allah. Alhamdulillah, some of you sent this response as well, this answer as your definition of Islam. However, it was derived from the root word salam. From this root word, you can also derive the words peace and safety. I want you to take note of the words that I highlighted in red. Okay, I hope you've done that. So if we're going to summarize the definition of Islam, Islam is peace through surrendering to the oneness of Allah. Please repeat this over and over again to yourself. Islam is peace through surrendering to the oneness of Allah. So we said Islam is surrendering to Allah and then peace, gaining peace when we submit to Allah. MashaAllah. So we're going to take each word one at a time. So what does it mean to submit to Allah? Before we discuss what it means to submit to Allah, stop and answer this question. I need you to stop. Don't play the video. Stop. I'm sure you've stopped. Now, I want you to answer this question. What does it mean to submit to your will? What does it mean to submit to your will? Can you answer that? I know you can. It's in you. You can. So what does it mean to submit to your parents' will? What does it mean to submit to your parents' will? Okay, here are some answers. Submitting to your will means doing what you want to do. You want to go and watch TV, you want to go and pray, you want to tell the truth, you want to visit a friend. They're all things that you want to do, so it's submitting to your will. Then what does it mean to submit to your parents' will? Doing what your parents have told you to do. For example, doing your assignments. Some of you actually will stand up and go and do the assignments. If you do it without anybody telling you to do it, then you're submitting to your own will. Then, but if your parents are telling you to do it, then you're submitting to what your parents want you to do. Okay, so coming to New Horizons College. For some of you, you don't want to come to New Horizons College. Maybe, I'm not saying everybody, maybe some people, but yet here you are coming to New Horizons College. So that means you're submitting to your parents' will. So there are many more examples. So after discussing submitting to your will and submitting to your parents' will, I'm very sure you can answer this question now. What does it mean to submit to Allah's will? What does it mean to submit to Allah's will? Submitting to Allah's will simply means obeying the rules and regulations which Allah has laid down and staying away from what He has forbidden. It's as simple as that. Staying away from what Allah has forbidden and obeying what He has commanded us to do. Because the things He has told us to do are the things that are good for us. Okay? So, I want you to look at this picture here. What are these people doing in this picture? Look at this girl, what's she doing? Look at the man, what's he doing? What's common with the three of them? What are they doing that is common? Okay. So let's discuss the examples of rules and regulations set by Allah. Like respecting our parents, it's very, very, very important to respect our parents. Let's respect our parents. Our parents know what's good for us, so we should respect them and obey what they have told us to do. Then praying 5 times a day. Allah has commanded us to pray 5 times a day. We should be thankful to Allah for bringing us into this world, for blessing us with good health. So pray 5 times a day. Allah has said we should pray 5 times a day. Fasting in the month of Ramadan. Reciting the Quran. And I want you to go ahead and mention as many as 5. Even if you can mention more, go ahead. Please, I'm going to check it in your notes when we resume. Okay, so we've discussed submitting to Allah or surrendering to Allah. So we'll go to peace. So can you recall the definition of Islam? I want you to go ahead and recall. Don't rewind the video. Just try, test yourself. Nobody's watching. I'm not saying you. Just go ahead. Can you recall the definition of Islam? Can you? Okay. So what are the keywords if you can recall? Even if you can't recall, there are some words. Remember those words I told you to take note of, those ones in red. Can you recall what they are? Okay, here are they. Here they are. Surrender and submission, peace, and Allah's will. Which one have we not discussed? We've discussed surrendering to Allah's will. We've discussed surrendering. We've discussed Allah's will. Okay, we've not discussed peace. Peace. Can you see this men? They are smiling. So we've not discussed peace. So what kind of peace do we get by submitting to Allah? We get peace within our community, peace within ourselves, peace in the world, and peace in the hereafter. These are the kind of peace we gain by submitting to Allah, doing what Allah has commanded us to do. So now we're going to take each one at a time. So what does it mean to submit to ourselves? I mean, how do we gain peace within ourselves? We gain peace within ourselves by just simply following Allah's command. Look at this thing here. I'm sure some of you can relate to this. Truthfulness. It is good to tell the truth at all times, be it at home, be it in the hostel, be it in class. If something is going on and you're asked, an investigation is going on, please make sure you tell the truth. Don't be scared of anybody. Don't be scared that somebody might laugh at you later. No, don't be scared. Remember, Allah said, be truthful against yourself, your family, your friends. If you tell the truth, you are obeying Allah's command. Then trustworthiness. If you're entrusted with something, please make sure you keep that trust. Then focus while you're praying to Allah. Focus in your studies. Focus in everything you do. Then thoroughness. Be thorough in what you're doing. Be thorough in your prayers. Be thorough in class. Make sure you go through everything. Finish it to the end. Self-restraint. Restrain yourself from those things that have been considered as haram in Islam. What Allah has considered as haram. If your parents tell you don't tell lies, those that don't tell lies. Okay, restrain yourself. If your group of friends are going to do something wrong, maybe you're supposed to be in the class and then you're staying back in the hostel, restrain yourself from doing something wrong. Remember, every time you do something good, you're obeying Allah's command, and then you get peace within yourself if you obey Allah's command. Consistency. Tell the truth over and over again. Do the right thing over and over again. No eye service. When you do things the right thing over and over again, then you're submitting to Allah's will. These are the things that some of us are already doing. So just say it as submitting to Allah's will. It can be that, okay, it's something in you, but it's also submitting to Allah's will. Punctuality. Be punctual to prayers. When it's time for prayer, leave whatever you're doing and go to the mosque. Going to class, be punctual in that. Going to the dining, if it's time for sports, be punctual. So we have the assurance that Allah is with us and He will guide us and help us in this life and give us success in the hereafter. So peace within our community. Peace within our community, because Islam teaches us that teaches us how to live as human beings and to respect and love one another. Remember, love for your neighbor or you love for yourself. Okay, you should find out what your neighbors not what they are doing, but you should know that you should try and find out if they are doing okay, so that if you are not doing okay, you can help out. That's why you should visit your neighbors. Be good to your neighbors. Your neighbors have rights over you. Don't insult them. Don't gossip about them, because if we do all these things, we stop gossiping, backbiting, it will make us have a good and better community. We should spread love within ourselves. Okay, you can give something, a hug, a smile, saying salam. So peace in the world. Peace within the world by making all mankind as one nation. As we are all Muslims, we are brothers and sisters in Islam. A Muslim in China, any Muslim in US, any Muslim in Canada, Muslim in South Africa, we are all brothers and sisters in Islam, and we are from Prophet Adam alayhi salam. So we should look after one another. If all nations did this, we'll have world peace. Then in the hereafter, if we just simply obey what Allah has commanded and stay away from what Allah has prohibited, inshallah, our path will be Jannah, inshallah. Remember, we should live in this world like we're travelers. We're only resting and then we'll continue our journey. So if we look at the word rather Islam in this way, we can understand why obeying Allah's commands and trusting in Allah's wisdom will bring about peace for a Muslim. The word does not represent a one-sided relationship where the believer is enslaved to Allah. Rather, the word Islam indicates a covenant between Allah and his followers where a Muslim surrenders his or her will to Allah in return for peace or safety. So I want you to watch this video, and we'll see in our third section, inshallah.